Welcome back to another fantastic edition of our podcast series with the Overseas School of Colombo. It is for International Teachers Day. It's episode number 4. Right throughout the series, we've been talking to students who obviously spent the most part of their early formative years at the school, talking to teachers who've actually taught us when we were in school, talking to teachers who obviously have lots of memories in this school, and also students who obviously graduated at different time periods from 1988 all the way up to 2015. It's been fabulous trying to get a hold of some of the old students. And you know, one thing, of course, is the fact that not one person refused to actually come. The only reason they couldn't make it was either because they were out of Colombo or they were actually out of the country. And most of them requested us to even change dates around. But you know, at the end of the day, when you're coordinating with 30 odd people, it's not easy to start changing dates around. So on this particular episode, we've got Sabra. Sabra is on the show with us. Sabra, which year were you?
Class of 2004.
2004. Okay, great. And we have my chemistry teacher who taught me when I was back in IGCSE, Mr. Ajit Sebastian. Mr. Sebastian, thank you for coming on the show.
Oh, no problem. It was pleasure.
And we have Greta Rocchi, who of course is the youngest, I must say, who's actually graduated in the year 2015, just
Yes.
10 years ago.
Yes.
We all feel like fossils next to you, Greta, right? It's been a long time. Lots of transformation obviously have actually happened. We're going to talk to, of course, start off with Mr. Sebastian. Mr. Sebastian, how long were you here?
I joined in August 86
Okay.
and left in April 93.
April?
93.
93. Okay. All right. So yes. So April, I mean, I was class of 95. So 2 years before I graduated. So yes, that's how you actually taught me IGCSE. That's
yeah.
right. Do you remember the first day you actually came into school, Mr. Sebastian?
Yeah, I came for an interview.
Uh-huh.
I had just come from West Africa,
Right.
Nigeria.
Nice.
And then Dr. Ian Galliford was there.
Right.
So I was looking at the testimonial that he gave me at the end when I was leaving. And he says, when he came for the interview, there were so many senior qualified teachers, but I was the only one who asked him many questions.
Right.
I don't know whether it's true about the facilities, the students, some blah, 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 all kinds of things. So I got the job.
That's amazing.
Well, that's fabulous. Obviously, think about all those things. And in terms of students at that time, till the time that you obviously did sort of retire in 1993, do you see a change in students coming into school? What was the difference like with the students?
That time, as time went on, the student, no, they don't change. They are still the same. The teenagers,
Right,
you
right.
know, and in class they try to not to do the homework, not listen. When I'm teaching, they are listening to something else, right? I was a bit strict, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah.
You were.
A lot of
You
kids
were.
say I was a bit strict. So I have thrown books out of windows.
Really?
Yeah.
Now when I think of it, later on I sort of became milder and all that. The labs were upstairs,
That's
you
right.
remember?
That's right.
Right.
Because those are the only areas that had the Bunsen burner. No other room can actually hold on to
yeah.
them.
So there was one student who was doing art
Right,
in the chemistry class.
right.
So I was really mad. I told him, stop it. Can you listen to me? Later when I looked at him, he's still going on. I took his book. I was so mad. I think I shouldn't have been. But I took his book, threw it out of that window. It went to the next garden.
No way.
Then this fellow looks at me and says, sir, did you throw my book? I said, you saw it. I threw it out. You go and pick it up. So things like that happened. But later I was mild and
Yeah, well, things happen, I suppose, at the end of the day. Sabra is also on the show with us. Sabra, thank you for basically being on the show. We were hoping that you could make it because you're a constant, frequent traveler, and hopefully that, and we're thankful that you can actually make it. Sabra, you joined OSC. Was it still OSC when you joined?
Actually, I'm just trying to remember whether it changed to from
OC.
OCS to OSC after I joined.
Yeah.
But I actually moved to Colombo in '96.
Right.
Um,
Oh, it was still OCS then.
it was still,
Yeah.
but I didn't join
Oh,
OSC
right. Okay.
immediately
Okay.
because we moved from Male on the day President Premadasa was assassinated.
Right. Okay.
Oh.
And then I enrolled at Asian International first.
Right.
But they kept closing all
Right.
the time because of bombs and curfews. And OSC was the only school that didn't close. So I had cousins here, and my grandfather asked me if I also wanted to join them at OSC, and I said yes.
Right.
And then from grade 4 until grade 12, I was here.
How was your experience when you walked into OCS or OSC at that time? Was there a culture shock from where you were coming from?
I think there should have been,
Mhm.
but I didn't feel it. I don't remember feeling uncomfortable at OSC ever at any point during my kind of schooling.
I mean, what's the one thing that you will actually take from OCS or OSC if anybody asks you?
Everyone always says this is a bubble. I guess that once sometimes if you've been in OSC, you don't really know how to be in the real world.
Right.
Because it's so protected but I don't actually agree with that.
Right.
I think what I take away from school the most is that we were able to have discussions, explore, all our ideas and passions and challenge things, but in a very secure environment where people encouraged us to do so. And I think those skills have been invaluable in my life, like wherever we go.
Right.
And that's something I take away from OSC.
Greta, thank you for being on the show. And 2015 wasn't too long ago compared to
10
us.
years
Yeah.
It's just 10 years, though.
The school has changed a lot, though.
In
since
10
then.
years, imagine for us then.
Yeah.
A bit.
Yeah. What's the change that you see?
I mean, the front definitely is
right. Yeah.
much more secure than when I used to come to school. I think they did a bit of upgrading here and there, much more plants, I think, as well. I don't remember it being so green, but the canteen is the same. The gym, I think, stayed the same as well. Yeah, no, it's just it's funny to be back after so long. Like,
is
the
this the first time you're
get-
coming back after
No,
you graduated?
No, actually not, because
Right.
my oldest sister, she has small kids.
Right.
They're all studying here in overseas.
Right.
So I came a couple of times to like drop them at school.
Right.
But yeah, every time I come back is very nice. Like you get this weird feeling of and all the memories flashing back, which is very pleasant.
It's very nostalgic for
Yes.
almost every single past student that actually walks in.
Yeah.
You walk down the corridor, you know every corridor has a story to tell you.
Yes.
You know, if the walls could speak, we would have stories for years as far as this school is concerned.
Yeah.
Greta, you obviously come from a family of sisters who went to OCS,
Yes,
right?
correct.
How was it going to OCS with all the siblings and, of course, the whole structure of studies for you?
I mean, two of my older sister, they were here so much before I was here. So I didn't really know how the school was until I came here on holiday in Sri Lanka and I saw them going to school here and I immediately fell in love. So I was living in Italy at the time and I couldn't speak English at all. And my father was living here. So I was like, why not? Let's move to Sri Lanka to learn English and go to an international school. So that's how I ended up here in OSC. And then a year after I joined, two of my other sisters also joined as well because we have a 1 year difference. So we were 3 of us here at the same time. And it was really nice because we were all in different grades. So we were hanging out a lot with the same group of people and our friends group was very big because of that. Yes, I think you asked me another question. I forgot now.
No, in terms of of growing up with siblings who actually go to school.
Yeah, no, it was wonderful. I think we all had very different experiences, even though we were in the same school.
Yeah.
I think every grade, like the people that go to the grade kind of add to the experience that you have. So even though you have perhaps the same teachers or you're in the same environment, you still have very different experiences just because of your friends group and the people that are around you. So I think that was very nice, and to compare at the end our different experiences with one another. And yeah, and it's amazing that now we all share this common memory of being at OSC, and it's quite nice.
It really is. In terms of teachers, was there a teacher that or an advice from a teacher that's
Yeah.
been given to you that's actually stuck in your head even till today?
I think there were many. I would say at the beginning, probably they gave me a lot, but because of my level of English, I probably didn't really understand many of them. But um, I think one of my volleyball coach really stuck to me, and I think she's actually still teaching here in
Nice.
OSC. But I remember she always told us how important it is to communicate when you're working together, and I think that's a lesson that I really value a lot still nowadays, because I realize how important that is and how useful it is to have like a clear communication amongst people when you're working in a big team. And yeah, so I would say this one perhaps that really stuck with me and that I resonate with every day.
What about you, Sabra? Is there a teacher out there that you know said, "Oh, I remember this phrase and it's been stuck with you for a while"?
More than phrases, I think it was the kind of just the things that we were able to do in
Right.
class. Like grade 6, we had Miss Sarah Venus for English class.
Wow.
And she was like,
Yeah.
she would have been around with you as
For sure.
But she used to have a rule, I don't know if she did with you as well. If you said the words nice, cool, or boring, you had to put something in the jar. You weren't allowed to
There
use
was a
those
jar.
words.
There was a jar.
But the best part of her class was that she'd get all of us to sit in the corner of the room, and then she would read out from The Hobbit to
Right.
all of us. And
Right.
it was just such a nice, comforting way to be taught something.
Right.
But yeah, so many, Miss Fernando, also English,
Yep.
Miss Larson, Miss Doss.
Miss Doss.
I think, just going back to what Greta said, I had many, many cousins in OSC, who were older than me. And we would have all gone through the same teachers at some point.
Right.
So everyone had a sense of familiarity with either us or with the teacher, that they knew our families. They knew, what they'd done when they were our age, my age or something. But yeah, Miss Doss, we would all joke about how we would all get the same photocopied papers of the short and long-term causes of World War I,
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed my time at OSC.
I mean, there was a joke that was running around because that was the time that the DOS application came out. So everyone was like, this is MS DOS here, because that's exactly how you use this type of name. It's Miss DOS.
Does, yeah.
So it's good, wonderful, wonderful memories though.
She's a very good teacher.
Oh, she is. And she
great.
actually taught my brother.
Oh.
She actually taught my brother. And she must, give or take, she must have taught at least about 300-400 individual students
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Because and she was fabulous.
Yeah.
Absolutely fabulous she was. Miss Sebastian, going back to your teaching days though, in terms of, meeting different students, you've got students who actually come from different parts of the world.
Yeah.
Here. And not everybody clearly is on the same level.
Yeah.
Right. And like Greta just said, some of them, of course, are not proficient in English. How difficult was you to sort of, level yourself with the students here?
Not that bad, actually. Most of the kids who came for chemistry at higher level, or IGCSE chemistry, were fairly okay. Well, they did understand me
Right.
first and foremost, because I was not a native English speaker. But they were good. I didn't have any problems. I wanted to say something about when I saw these plays.
Right.
In 87, you remember 87, there was a lot of problems in Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
And the school sent us all to Cambridge for a IGCSE training program.
Right.
Most of the teachers were sent. Then when we were there, we heard that there are a lot of riots and all that. They came and set fire to the school. You remember that?
Oh, did they?
Wow.
That's the year they tried to assault Gandhi.
Mhm.
Right,
Yeah, yeah,
right,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Okay.
Something like that.
Right,
So we had to rush back
right,
and help the school to start in September.
right.
That was
I vaguely remember that. I'm
yeah,
not really too
August
sure.
holidays.
But on that note, though, I don't know if I know Greta, you wouldn't have had it. Sabra, did you have bomb drills,
Oh,
fire drills?
yeah. And I shouldn't laugh, but there were occasions where, you know, things would have been called in because students didn't necessarily want to be in school.
Right, right,
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
right,
yeah.
right, right.
I-
I mean, you can talk about it.
Yeah.
We've all gone through this.
I remember one incident where I was ready with my tests. I told the students there's going to be a serious test. Then suddenly the school had a call from somewhere that there was a bomb in school.
Right.
Oh, wow.
And they had to call the army bomb disposal unit and all that. And we had to all run to the playing field. So I had to collect all the people, no test. I think it was a prank.
Yeah, well, that
To avoid the test,
Test.
probably.
Most
That's
probably.
not a nice prank.
but I'm sure, Sabra, as you were saying, I mean,
was no
we've
bomb.
had a fair
No.
amount of drills at that time,
Yeah.
and I don't know if they still have the siren. There was a siren in the corner over there where it
Yeah.
was a roll-up siren.
Really?
Yeah, it was a roll-up siren where you obviously, the moment you hear the siren, you know exactly what you need to do. You know, put your books down, single
Yeah.
file.
To the field,
To the
right?
field. To the field.
But would it
Every
happen?
class had a wall with the number on it.
Yeah. So
Was it happening often to hear the sirens, or?
it was a drill. It was a drill. I mean, obviously,
we did it quite.
we had it at that time when there was a lot of insurgency that was going on
Yeah.
in Sri Lanka and in Colombo at that point. So, I mean, honestly, school did take that extra level of
Yeah,
caution
they're
on a
very
regular
serious
basis.
about it.
Do you remember? You know when the water and the power were cut for 3 days?
Yes,
I
yes.
can't remember exactly what year that was now, but
I've graduated by then.
yeah.
Yeah, I've graduated.
I remember because gym was still open
Right.
and we had water at school. And people would come in to take showers in the school gym because
Wow. I mean, there are lots of things, obviously, we're going to be talking about in terms of friendship, and something that actually lots of the others who came up on the show were talking about, especially, is the fact that you are guaranteed a friend anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
You know, wherever that is one of the plus points of going to a school that is really united in diversity,
Yeah.
like OSC is.
Yeah.
That you can, I mean, like you said, all of us have our class WhatsApp groups that we're connected to, and all you just do is just drop a message saying, "Hey, I'm going to be here. Is anybody there?" And you know, at least 3 people will turn up. You know what I'm saying?
That's so true.
So that is something I suppose is very special as far as the school is concerned. Stories of SAISA. Were you part of SAISA?
Yes, I used to love Saiza.
Yeah,
I think I did all the sports except for swimming because it was at the same time as volleyball and track and field that I wasn't a fan of at the time. But yeah, I love Saiza.
Yeah,
I think it was
Yeah.
a great opportunity
it
that
was.
so many other schools would not offer, and
Yeah.
I saw so many countries thanks to Saiza and met so many people like you just mentioned that I still am in touch with nowadays, even though we didn't go to the same school, but we met during Saiza, and because of that nowadays if we end up in the same country we just meet up, so it's quite nice.
And I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it happened after our days, but you still stayed with host families.
Yes.
Which is great.
it was
Is
great.
that not the case anymore, or?
I hope it still is. I don't know.
I think it's changed slightly. I'm not sure. My son is not at the SAISA age yet.
Right,
But
right.
I loved SAISA. I did SAISA track, football, swimming. We also had theatre arts.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, there was no
It's
theatre arts at
nice.
that time.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I think it was ISTA. I can't remember what it was, but it was like SAISA.
Okay.
But it was great. The opportunity to go away with all of your friends
Right.
to another country, stay with host families, and if we go to Dhaka, which was I think the American International School of
Well,
Dhaka.
that's right. Yeah.
You
AIS.
usually stay with American host families, and then you get all these American foods you wouldn't get here.
Yeah.
It
I mean, it's Saisa is a different level of confidence building altogether,
Yeah.
and it's nice that obviously Saisa students come down to CS also. I think there is Saisa happening next couple of weeks or so here. Greta, was there when you were going to school, was there a teacher that actually got you in terms of, you come, it's funny though that you sort of build up this, she's my favorite teacher or he's my favorite teacher,
Yeah.
because purely is the fact that you are on the same wavelength of understanding each other. Was there someone like that for you?
It's a tough question.
Yeah.
I think I had a lot of great teacher that I still remember. I would say for me personally, one that I still talk to, maybe not like all the time, obviously, but sometimes like we still send each other like happy birthday wishes or small texts, is my English teacher. I had to take this like special English class for the first few months that I was here because I was learning English, and her name was Miss Lilani. I don't know if anyone, but yeah, she's definitely a teacher that made the biggest impression for me because like she helped me through, I would say, the most difficult time for me at OSC because it was a lot of international kids. But at the time when I enrolled, I think I was the second Italian in the whole school. And the guy that could speak Italian left after a few months that I joined. So I had no excuse not to learn English. I had to like learn English. And she really helped me a lot to go through the first few months of me just, as Italians do, we gesture a lot. So I could communicate with people using my hands, but then eventually I managed to also learn how to speak. So it was good. And she helped me a lot with that.
That's brilliant. So that's something you can actually take out, as a
Yeah.
matter of fact. That's something that's going to be with you right throughout your life.
Yes.
Sabra, finally, if you're basically to ask you, what is the one thing that you will want to remember school by every single day, and someone basically mentions OSC or OCS, what's the first thing that comes into your mind?
That it was a lot of fun.
Right.
It was a lot of fun. I felt you wanted to come to school. And my mom used to always joke that there was no point in coming to pick me up on time because I was never out of
Right.
school on time.
Right.
You're always, hanging around with your friends. Yeah, that sense of community, I don't think is a cliche. It is true.
Mr. Sebastian, one thing after all those years that you basically have you taught all of us in school, what's the one thing that you'll take out from school?
Well, when I joined the school, I had just done the first degree. Then at that time, there was a plan in the school
Okay.
where if you save half your salary, the other half will, you get the other half. And for one whole year or something, if you save, they give you a whole year of leave
Oh,
Oh, wow.
wow.
to go to England and do your master's.
Nice.
So I took that opportunity. So my wife and 2 kids were here in Sri Lanka. So I went to England, and that's a great thing they did.
Right.
Because after that, I used that master's degree and all that chemistry thing, and I got jobs here and there.
Wonderful. I mean, that is something that lots of us don't know because we don't know what happens to the faculty side of it, right? I mean, we know what happens to the student side. But one thing, of course, school has always looked out for the teachers every single time, which is wonderful to also note. Greta, finally, you have a lot to basically take away from school. It's just been 10 years, and the road ahead for you is very long compared for us, right? But what would you want to take out from school that will always remind you of school?
I think kind of what we have mentioned throughout this conversation, the fact that it's such an international environment, I think it made me much more open-minded in many ways. And I continue my journey of going to very international universities and like very international environments after that because of what OSC taught me. And so definitely, yes, that's something that I will forever thank OSC for giving me. And yeah.
Well, thank you, Sabra, Mr. Sebastian, Greta. Firstly, thank you to Mr. Sebastian and all the teachers out there for International Teachers Day, because we are here because of individuals like you all who've actually given us what we can read, we can write because of teachers. Otherwise, we wouldn't be even doing this. So thank you for all the teachers out there who've actually taught us, not necessarily in OCS or OSC, but right throughout our lives, who've always been around as teachers for every single day. It is your day. It's International Teachers Day. Thank you so much for being with us. Of course, a fantastic podcast series. We got a couple of more episodes coming up, and we're going to be talking to more of the past students of OSC right here on the International Teachers Day podcast series with the Overseas School of Colombo. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.